The Legend of Zelda is a game series that centers its plot around a boy named Link, who becomes the central protagonist throughout the series. It came out in 1986 for the Famicom in Japan, which was later released in the Western world, including Europe and the US, in 1987. It has been re-released several times for a base of a console, the Nintendo GameCube, as well as the popular Game Boy Advance. So, what exactly is the story about? When you start out the game, you were introduced by an epic monologue about how the world was in an age of chaos. I think it's pretty cool because once you start out the game, people are just gonna be like, wow, I want to play more of this because why was the world in an age of chaos? What caused a place so happy to be in ruins? And draws in the people who play the game. It's awesome. Gameplay. The game itself introduces a new level of gaming, one that includes role-playing, action, adventure, and puzzle logic. Dungeon exploration. To complete the first part of the quest, Link's progress are creatures he must battle to locate the entrances to 9 underground dungeons. Each dungeon is a unique, maze-like collection of rooms connected by doors and secret passages and guarded by monsters from those found on the overworld. Link must successfully navigate each dungeon to obtain one of the 8 pieces of the Triforce of Wisdom. Dungeons also contain useful items, such as a boomerang for retrieving items and stunning enemies, and a flute with magical properties. The first 6 dungeons have visible entrances, but the remaining 3 are hidden. Except for the final dungeon, which can't be entered until the previous 8 have been completed. The order of completing dungeons is somewhat arbitrary, but many dungeons can only be reached using items gained in the previous one. Overworld Exploration. Non-linearity, the ability to take different paths to complete the game, separated The Legend of Zelda from its contemporaries. Link can free wander the overworld, finding and buying items at any point. This flexibility enables unusual ways of playing the game. For example, it's possible to reach the final boss of The Legend of Zelda, but not to defeat him without taking the sword. Nintendo of America's management initially feared that players might become frustrated with the new concept, left wondering what to do next. As a result, the American version of the game's manual contains many hints, tips, and suggestions for players. Guess even America's manager of Nintendo was afraid the Americans wouldn't be able to complete the game without help. But please don't come after me, it was just a joke. Second quest. After completing the game, the player has access to a more difficult quest, officially referred to as the second quest, where dungeons and the placement of items are different, with enemies stronger. Although a more difficult replay wasn't unique to The Legend of Zelda, few games offered a second quest with entirely different levels to complete. Entering Zelda in all capitals as the player's name starts the second quest immediately. The second quest can be replayed each time it's completed. Alright, now that the storyline and everything about the game, the breakdown is all out of the way, let's get on down to the interesting facts about The Legend of Zelda. Here we go. Have you ever wondered why The Legend of Zelda is called The Legend of Zelda when the game revolves around Link? Well, in real life, Miyamoto, the creator of the game, liked the sound of the name Zelda, which is why he called it The Legend of Zelda. However, in the game, it was initially explained in Zelda 2 that The Legend of Zelda refers to the past event in which a princess named Zelda was cursed to eternal slumber. In her honor, it was decreed that all princesses of Hyrule would be named Zelda. However, later games revealed that this sleeping Zelda was not the first, and that the first Zelda was actually the reincarnation of a goddess who set in motion the events that created Link. This first Zelda forged Link into an unbreakable champion to fight evil, but in the process, he and Zelda's bloodline received a curse to eternally rise and battle the Demon Shrine. There were also mistranslations as well when the American version of The Legend of Zelda was made. Here are the mistranslations that we will list. Number 1. The intro story is written poorly, such as stating the Triforce piece Ganon stole is the Triforce with power, instead of Triforce of power. For the GBA and Wii Virtual Console ports, the message was entirely rewritten. Number 2. This is the first Zelda game in which Ganon is written as Ganon, with double N's. The spelling was also used in the Famicom Disk System version of The Adventure of Link, and in the Super Famicom release of A Link to the Past. Fact number 3. The old man is known for his vagueness in messages. One of his most famous quotations is, "Dodongo dislikes smoke," indicating that Dodongo's weakness to bombs. Another odd quote is, "This Donga hates certain kinds of sound." Number 4. The list of items is titled All of Treasures. The "of" was omitted in subsequent re-releases. Number 5. When Link pays the old woman behind the waterfall, she will tell him to go up, up, the mountaintop. This was corrected saying, "Go up, up, the mountain ahead." This refers to the path to level 5. Now, let's talk about the legacy of The Legend of Zelda, since this game has been out for a while. The Legend of Zelda is the first installment in the Zelda franchise, and its success allowed the development of sequels. In one or another way, nearly every title in the series is influenced by this game in such ways as the distinction between an overlord and a dungeon, as well as the need of travelling across the former to enter the latter, and to clear that ladder to take a further step to the game's completion. The use of items to progress on an adventure, be it to beat enemies more easily or to open new ways and solve puzzles. The introduction of Link, Princess Zelda, and Ganon. The introduction of the first 2 fragments of the Triforce. The introduction of a number of recurring locations. Examples include the Lost Woods and Death Mountain, and items. The presence of a second quest, although various subsequent games reuse this concept. The Moblin's quote, "It's a secret to everybody," has become a popular meme among gamers over the years. It is first referenced in A Link to the Past when Link brings a chest to a man who stands next to a sign outside of the desert. He offers to open the chest on the condition that Link will keep it a secret from everyone else. It is also referred in Ocarina of Time. If Link bribes the guard at the gate of Hyrule Castle, speaking after he opens the gate, was him saying, "Keep it a secret to everybody!" And in Majora's Mask, after talking to Cafe in his home behind the curiosity shop, he says, "Keep what we have just talked about a secret from everybody." It is even referenced in Twilight Princess when in Center Castle Town, Link will enter a door and walk up to a balcony where Goron sees the golden force around Hyrule Castle. He admits that he has kept it a secret to everybody. Is it truly a secret though? What did you think about this? Would you like to see more content like this? Remember, if you're interested, leave a like down below, comment, subscribe to our channel, and share our videos to receive more content like this. If you are a fan of Zelda, let us know down in the comments which Legend of Zelda game was your favorite and why. Also, who's your favorite character? We'd like to hear from you guys. This is Music Chess. Thank you, signing out, and peace.